I'm 15 years old. I'm full content piece for large entrepreneurs. And specifically, what I'm going to break down exactly in this video is exactly how all these entrepreneurs are blowing up and basically the essence behind branding, right? Because mainly the one thing which I've seen across all the offers which I've ran is specifically they all have a strong brand. So for example, every single person with a strong brand who actually is able to monetize this, they're all have this one thing in common. And you have to understand that you need to play with people's incentives. The number one thing which people hate in business is being degraded. And on the other hand, what people like is security, being part of a community, being part of a message of a group. And this is what you kind of are doing when you build your own brand. So I'm going to be doing how you can actually reverse engineer this. So you can actually essentially extract everything, apply it to just your own business and your own brand, and basically be able to scale past 50 to 100K a month as a lot of these people do. So first of all, you need to understand what does branding actually even represent and what does it mean, and to actually be able to implement it into your very own business, right? So we are looking at what makes a strong brand. So I'm just going to give the first example, which everybody already knows about, which is Daniel Dale, right? I've done this myself, and I've done this for marketing offers who are doing already 250K a month. And the biggest thing all comes down to this one thing, which is always represents your own brand, which plays to people's incentives and their own interests. Okay, so I'm gonna explain this right now. Why this Daniel Dale and blah? Because he's empowering people, he's uniting them to one brand, basically, which unites the entire entrepreneur economy, and he's offering this message of being your authentic self. You need to understand, okay, what is my public persona and what is the market requesting? What can I do to properly position myself? Because I've worked with, again, info offers for doing, again, 20 to 30 to 50K a month to even more than that. And the one thing that I always see is people look for frameworks, okay? They don't want to look at what the market requests. And we're going to go a layer deeper than everything that we've kind of went previous. So you need to look at what the market is requesting from you as a person, okay? So let's say you are running an offer and you're doing, let's say, about 20 to 30K a month. Your options are basically to just toil away and work your fucking ass off again and again and again to have a standard chance to get to 50K a month, to just have a drop anyways after. Like you get to 50, then you drop back. Then this is what I've seen specifically about across all of this. Or while you're left, you're going to speak with all of these growth operators where you really don't know what the fuck you're doing anyways, because they're in for the paycheck. Or these coaches, which again, they have their own offers, so they're in for the paycheck. So specifically, this is what I've observed from after I've literally marketed for dozens and dozens of offers. I'm behind the brands of these, I'm behind the content of these, and this is specifically what I've seen, which works basically across all these brands. You need to understand what the market requests. So you need to understand the following thing. There is you and there is the market. Okay, that is it. There is you and there is the market. You have your own interests. The market has its own interests. That is it. So if you want money, right? This is what you want. You want money. The market, what does the market want? It wants attention. For example, why are you watching this video? I'm 15, I'm learning this stuff. There's anyways an element of like, what the fuck is this kid doing? And why was I able to get to the point where I was about 8 months ago is because, people love to relate. You're watching this video and like, oh, okay, this 15-year-old is doing all these numbers. What was I doing when I was 15 years old? It kind of brings that question that openly, it kind of makes you want to relate. You understand? So in this process, you can basically reverse engineer this. And this is exactly what I've been doing for all these contest offers. So you can actually easily scale from 20 to 30K without paying these fucking coaches. And because the core essence of your business anyways, what does it represent? Your core essence of your business is your brand, okay? It's always your brand. It is your brand because this is the message that you're spreading everywhere, right? The core essence of your business, like imagine the message is here. Then you have your marketing, right? Then you have your sales. You have your sales, you have your marketing, but the marketing is always your message. Your message determines how you're even going to treat your team. So when you understand this stuff, how you can play to people's interests and incentives, you can reverse engineer and basically subject the market's desires to your own interest, and in this process you can make money. So personally, I run the content for Moritz. Why do people like Moritz so much? Because he's this 18-year-old kid, he's 19, traveling, he's documenting the journey, and people want to be part of this. People want to be a part of a community. People want to be a part of a message and of a group to kind of get security from this, and people love to feel like they're part, and they see, oh yeah, he's a star, right? People love these superstars, these stars, right? And this goes for almost every single offer. And if you don't have this, and this is the element that separates basically everything in the flow. If you don't have this effect, it's 10 times harder. You're just playing a game which is rigged against you from the start, okay? This is the thing with Nick. He literally built one of the biggest info firms in the world, and basically he's the industry leader right now. And he's the best at what he does. And you can go to so many coaches. This is, for example, of a friend of a friend of a friend. And like I have a guy who basically works this guy, and literally again you can kind of see he's doing this. It's always very common, right? Success leaves clues. It's this common thing, or this common interest of like, I'm a star, I'm sharing my journey, and this is how you're gonna get there. And for example, like, okay, Hudson Cosper, right? He's basically this 19-year-old star who's flying on private jets, who had this hero's journey, and you understand, like, this is the stuff they need to kind of play in. Because nobody cares about your own knowledge. Nobody cares about your own expertise. Nobody. You have to understand. People only care about their own expertise if it's 100% guaranteed and their unconscious beliefs that, hey, this shit can actually get me to where I want to go. It sounds obvious, but nobody understands what this represent, right? You can see this pattern again and again and again. This pattern repeats itself again and again. And once you are aware of this pattern, then what you can do is you can reverse engineer it. This is what the whole thing. Why did Luke Belmar, why did Tate blow up? Think about it. We're gonna go to Tate first. Andrew Tate blew up because he's empowering men. That's why. He's empowering men to go above this level of, oh, I like go from the 9 to 5 from the Matrix. Like, he's empowering people. Join a movement, right? Join a message, a community. And this is the one element which you see, because every single successful brand has this one thing. This is the thing with Tate. This is the thing with Luke. Luke entered, he was like positioned as this crazy genius who's like 20, he cracked the Matrix, and now he came from with this crazy hero's journey coming from Argentina, and like, it's always similar stuff like this. It's always an element of like relatability, right? Like, yeah, I can relate. Like, people love to relate and they hate to be degraded. This is another point which you need to understand. So how can you actually go ahead now and can you implement this into your own brands? First of all, you need to understand, what is your audience? Okay, what is your audience? What does this audience represent? What are these people's desires? What is the market which I'm trying to target? And never look at your own situation, okay? Never look at your own situation, because you're gonna think from accordance, from your own interest, from your own perspective. Always think from the market within, right? Because when you think from the market, you can think from what the market wants, right? And then you can even invent stuff. As long as you're not lying, you can frame stuff differently so it can appeal to the market. And you understand? And this is exactly what I've seen again and again and again, right? You can't break to this layer of skepticism. Like, if you don't, the people who don't understand this stuff are literally fighting against the market. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you not play into the market's interests? And this, by understanding this, you are able to basically crack the code to marketing. You're able to basically crack the code to understanding how to market yourself. And this is the secret behind every single brand that you see. It's always this element of playing to human weaknesses, okay? I've written my own book specifically about the human psyche and its own desires, right? And its own characteristics. And it's always security and significance, right? These are the biggest things. Like, people want to be significant, they want to be secure. So when you are trying to teach other people something, you are literally going against their very own human desires for them to be significantly secure. So what you need to do is you need to reverse engineer this. You're going to be able to look at your brand. Okay, what element of my brand can I make people feel more significant, or at least entertain them? So you either make them feel significant and secure, which is part of the brand. So branding goes into security and then significance. So you give people significance and you empower them. This is what Tate is doing. Tate is empowering men, bro. That's what he's doing. That's what he made $30 million a month. Because he's empowering men. He couldn't have done it otherwise. And the third element is attention. Okay, attention. It's always attention. So once you understand this, then you will genuinely be able to master your own brand, master your own branding. And this is what I personally help entrepreneurs with. Because after I've written my own book, I went to 4 months of basically solitude, basically living fucking hell with a lot of, stuff. I'm basically coming now back into the market. I'm sharing the very things which I've studied about, and the very things behind not only my success, but the success of all of my clients and all of the markets, okay? And this is what goes behind it all. Bro, I'm not here for the money. People talking about this stuff, that thing, but bro, like, that doesn't matter. What matters is human connections and relationships. And once you're able to understand this stuff, then you're also able to genuinely build a brand which goes beyond time, which stands time and is able to empower people. And this is what I'm the mission of. I'm not here to fucking give you to make you buy a $2,000 course. I'm not fucking here to do that. I'm not here for the money. I'm here to build connections with people and build stuff that truly lasts. So with that being said, if you want, you can talk with me. I think I'm actually opening up a couple of coffee shops below him. You can also DM me on IG if you want. My DMs are open if you have absolutely any questions about anything. I'm helping everybody literally and basically spreading this own message. So with that being said, guys, I'm David, and that being said, see you.